What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, my name is Liam. I'm a calisthenics based athlete and I post content about my journey and my training. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about why you can't succeed or how you can do better when it comes to seeing results with calisthenics, whether it's building muscle or whether it's strength training. So by the way, these are my personal points that I've used and that I've kind of learned throughout my journey of training 3 years. So let's go over these 3 points that I have. So first point being is to have a goal / specificity. So what I mean by specificity is I've seen it on a number of YouTube videos out there, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the terminology right, but it's called the SAID principle. Specific adaptations impose specific demands. So, you know, I kind of neglected that for a while, especially in the beginning of my training, which I kind of wish I didn't, because it works. And when you really want to get better at something, it makes sense to just train it, right? So if you want to get better at, or you want to train for your first muscle up, then break the move down, practice your pull-ups, make sure you're comfortable with them, then practice explosive pull-ups, and then practice the dip portion of the muscle up. And when you put those together, all those combination of movements will come as one, and then next thing you know, you're doing muscle ups out there. So that kind of goes back to having a goal, which I think is super important, because if you have something like an objective that you want to meet, not necessarily a time frame to meet an objective, because from, you know, some videos out there that I've seen, you kind of come to realize that the body isn't like the way you progress isn't necessarily a straight line like towards your goal. It's actually like more complicated than that. Like it goes all over the place. So, you know, some days you might feel really good and you'll make like a lot of progress, and some days you're just not feeling it, and you find yourself doing sloppy reps on something that you know you've done good before. Actually, over time, you're gonna hit the goal. It's just a matter of patience. So point number 2 is going to be diversity with your movements. So what I mean by that is, over the course of time through my training, I've come to realize that when I want to get better at a certain skill, or if I want to learn a new skill, then like let's take the front lever for example. So the front lever, in case you don't know, is pretty much where you hang, right? You're in a pull-up bar, you're like this, but then you're pretty much like laying down in the air, so your body is horizontal while your arms are suspending your body. So, you know, I went with the basic cliche, like move with the tucks. So you start with your knees tucked, and you know, eventually you branch out further and further. But as I was getting, you know, better at my training with the front lever, is when I kind of found out putting together like different movements, whether like the dynamic portion, doing tuck raises instead of just holding the tuck there forever, and combining that with a static hold, which is that tuck. Like my results have been, I'd like to say, I think I progressed rather quickly in the front lever just by combining different movements, like holding certain positions for time, and definitely like the dynamic portions, like I said before, and then maybe even like some negatives. So that's when you start from the top of the movement and come down, because it's always going to be easier that way. Combine your statics, combine the dynamic movements, and combine eccentrics. So that takes me to point number 3. I like to say you have to be obsessed. And when I say obsessed, I think it's AKA consistency. So I just like to call it obsessed because it's a different type of consistency in my opinion. So when you really want something really bad, then you're gonna give it all your energy and you're gonna give it all your focus just to really concentrate on achieving the goal that you want, the results that you want, right? So this literally means to me that I'll stop at nothing to get the straddle front lever, which eventually I did. It took it took some time, but nothing else was in my head. I just wanted to get good at the front lever, and so I did it. I trained it all the time. I rested, I took all the appropriate measures just to get the straddle, and next thing you know, I hit it. So being obsessed with something, and also I think as a little add-on to being obsessed with whatever you're doing, is definitely be picky with yourself and be honest with yourself, because I have a lot of footage in the vault, right in my photo library, that I just have, you know, whether the videos are like 5 seconds of myself just dropping straight down from a front lever negative, or like a 30-second video of me doing statics, dynamics, and eccentrics. So choose a variation or progression that is you know, something that you can work with and you can do reps with, and you know, when you get comfortable with it over time, right, because over time I see is how you get the best results, then you will definitely hit what you are going for. So those are my 3 points. Those are my 3 points on how to succeed at calisthenics. And if you have any questions about it, how to start calisthenics, anything, because calisthenics, in my opinion, has a huge advantage, a huge bonus in just fitness in general. It gives you body control like no other. So it's definitely worth the work to put in so you can, you know, have this type of strength, and it's super beneficial. So with that being said, that's the end of the video. So I appreciate you for watching. Thanks for giving me your time. I'll catch you in the next video.